Well, the Hong Kong Muay Thai Council World middleweight title up for grabs, and the boys, they look in excellent shape, don't they?
Yeah, this is sizing up to be a good fight, but it's going to be hard to beat the previous fight. But if anybody can do it, I'm sure it'd be CHOPPA.
Well, Gerbrand TAKENS, 37 bouts, 28 wins. CHOPPA's had 28 wins also. They've both had 10 knockouts. There was a half a kilo advantage in the weigh-in to CHOPPA at 72.5. Nothing in between them in record and their experience. So it's all down to the man on the night, isn't it?
Yeah, both look to have the same sort of physique. Obviously, both have worked very hard. This is the big one. This is the world title. So this is when you really pick your training up prior to the fight.
Oh, that's a wild left hand that he's got. Well, Taken's been fighting for 10 years, CHOPPA for 5, so they're both durable. Oh. Now, although it was taken on the arm, it's just a power thing, isn't it? It's a wee bit of a psyche thing there.
Sure, yeah, but even so, even kicking the arm, you know, if you keep doing it, you're going to wear the arm out.
I think it's going to be another busy fight. You know, it's not the feeling out round that we see against the Thais. These two boys are a bit busier.
There's a lot of spring in their feet, and they seem to, they're not tapping, they're really kicking quite hard. There's going to be some sore legs if they start winding up in round 2 and 3. There'll be some sore legs tomorrow.
Well, CHOPPA just the little bit the taller, so probably with a slight reach advantage. Well, I think that's the made everybody sit up and notice. It's the chess match is well and truly underway.
Yep, you see the power in that kick, and it just sort of sprung CHOPPA into action. So that's the play round over. That's the feeling out round. It's over, and it's all down to business.
Did you pick up anything in that round that would indicate on how the fight's going to go further down the line, Rebel?
Yeah, I think CHOPPA's going to make this into a kick war. He seems a lot more fluent in his kicking. He seems to be finding his target without too much bother. And I think he'll keep this fight at a kicking range where the Dutch guy won't be able to land the punches. I saw a looping left hook by the Dutchman, so it looks like he might be a puncher. So I look to see CHOPPA keep this at a kicking range and score with a lot of kicks.
You see the power in CHOPPA's kicks as well. You know, he landed one on the hip, a real good one that would have moved him over about an inch, 2 inches, and another one that, even though it hit the gloves, just shows one mistake and he'll be in there.
Well, I think Philip Lamb would have to be pretty happy with the crowd tonight. you know, it's a great venue. I was talking to Gerbrand TAKENS before. He was really impressed by the venue here, where he was also saying that over in Holland, they as soon as a show's put on, they say there's going to be a show in a month's time. It's sold out immediately, 5,000 people. So he said the game's really taking off over there, and he was really impressed with this venue. So and it looks like he's picking up the action a bit in round number 2.
So John said he looks like a boxer, and that's what he just threw there. A lot of hand combinations.
CHOPPA uses the ring well, but he hasn't been able to shut it off. The Dutchman controlling the centre of the ring at the moment in this round, but I think both these boys have got some respect for each other.
Oh, certainly. There's a nice high kick. CHOPPA blocked it and came back straight away with a leg sweep. CHOPPA won't let the Dutchman get the distance right. Every time the Dutchman sets to throw a kick or punch, CHOPPA will move away either to the left or to the right, or just back up a bit.
Well, he's trying to get that big left hand going again, and that looks to be his dangerous weapon. When we interviewed him, he said that he was an all-round fighter, and so it's proving at the moment. He looks pretty capable in every department that we've seen so far.
Yeah, well, he's landed some very good kicks, and it does look like he's probably got the better hands out of the pair, the Dutchman.
Well, that's unusual because CHOPPA he usually got fast hands, and CHOPPA maybe a little bit slower start for him than usual, but the experience of fighting overseas, he'll know how to time his run to the perfection towards the bell. But we're in Gerbrand TAKENS' corner. He fights out of the Garuda gym. It's up in the northeast of Holland, trained by Mark Hobers. He's actually a restaurateur. He owns a restaurant on one of the highways over there, and one of his favourite pastimes is driving around and puttering around with his Jeep. He's a very pleasant guy to talk to. He's a great ambassador for his country. And he's acquitting himself well here after 2 rounds.
Well, he's certainly making a very competitive fight, and his looping left hook looks dangerous. And I believe he's actually closing the distance as the fight progresses. So you know, I think it's going to soon not become a chess match. It's going to become a war as soon as they find the distance. CHOPPA's sort of found the distance, but I believe the Dutch guy will find it in this round.
Third round. Oh, well, he's really winding up for the big kicks downstairs. Does that tell you anything, Rebel?
Yeah, I think I think he realises he might be slightly behind on the scorecard, and he wants to really pick it up, which makes it a very exciting fight. But that first kick he let loose, I mean, it had pain all over it. I think it caught Choppa's foot and maybe put it out a bit.
Oh, Choppa, some real power kicks. Both men using the ring well and making it awkward for their opponent. Hard to get the distance, but that was a good kick to the midriff by the Choppa. Oh, good timing from Gerbrand TAKENS. Oh, Choppa comes back with the first combination from the hands that we've seen from Choppa. Been pretty quiet in that department tonight.
Yeah, his hands have been quiet.
Choppa trying to cut the corner off at the moment, but Gerbrand having nothing of it. Choppa starting to pick up the pace. Still having trouble catching his opponent, but more action from the Choppa in round number 3.
Yeah, he certainly put the pressure on a bit, the Choppa. He's landed some very good kicks in this round.
Oh, another good round. The end of 3 and still anybody's fight.
Yeah, that's right. It's a pretty close fight at the moment. There's no one's really taken control of the fight, so I think this could be the last 2 rounds. Always the best 2 rounds.
Well, by this time in the previous bout, you could see Nick was getting on top of his opponent, but there's no clear advantage to either fighter here so far, Rebel.
No, but I feel that Choppa's been the aggressor, and that's got to pay off somewhat. I feel Choppa's forcing the pace and forcing the fight. Well, we've got some pretty good judges. We've got world heavyweight champion Ray Sifu. We've got Tom Fisatui, and we've got Jason Suddy.
All champions. Tom, of course, 5 times Golden Gloves champion, and Jason Suddy, a world title holder. And his show's sure to be a good one next week. And I looked up after you told me it was a fortnight tonight. I looked up, Rebel, and it's actually on a Friday. So don't you get along there on Thursday, or you'll be there on your lonesome.
Rightio.
Talking about the weigh-in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Round 4.
It'll be Jason's second promotion at the power station. And the first one went off really good. Back to round number 4. Well, for a moment I thought there was something amiss there, but just a bit of water in the corner. Well, both boys look pretty good in the grapple too. Halfway through round 4, and still no telling blows or telling kicks as such. They've been landed but haven't had an effect this yet. And both guys are so good at the angles, aren't they? Like it's hard. Oh! I say it's hard for one to catch the other, and just as I say it, the chopper
even though he's not showing it, I think the Dutch guy really has got a really sore leg. He's trying to leg check, but I think it's really been hit at some times and it's really sore.
That chopper's good with that front kick. Now he goes downstairs and up. Good work. Starting to come together for the chopper here in round number 4. Starting to cut off the angles. And a good round for the red corner. First time anybody shown any sort of ascendancy over the other. Yeah, some pretty deep bruising there on the thigh. But like 10-year veteran that he is, he's disguised it, as you say, Shark, that maybe it is hurting a little bit. And if he slows down any at all, that's sort of the opportunity that the chopper will need.
Well, towards the end of round 4, that was the chopper that I like. It was when he unloads his hands, follows up by a kick. He hasn't done it for the first 3.5 rounds, but he started introducing it into the last part of the round 4, and that's the chopper that should be the world champion, when he delivers his punches and finishes us with the kicks.
Well, I think it hasn't been his fight plan to not be doing that, but I think his opponent's been too hard to catch. He's hasn't been dominated at all. He's moved around the ring, and Chopper hasn't been able to fight the fight that we've seen him fight in the past. But that was a sign of Chopper of old, and if he can do that in round number 5, that could be enough to see him wear the belt tonight.
I really feel that leg's in a lot more trouble than he's letting on. I think it's really, really sore, but he's just his experience, he's just covering it up real well. You can see just by the way he's walking.
Final round.
Well, the fifth and final round for the Hong Kong Council World title, and Gerbrand TAKENS knows that he's got to pull something out of the bag. He's probably a little bit behind. He'll know that from his experience, and we're sure to see a few more of those big left haymakers.
Well, yeah, he's definitely got to do a bit of catching up. But Choppa's starting to let the hands go, and that's good to see. I think Choppa realises that that legs off the Dutchman's is a little bit tender. But I'll tell you what, Tony, it's a good night of action at the Mandalay tonight. We saw some very good fights.
Ah, that's timing for you. Yeah, it has been. It's been a cracker night. We've seen some good up-and-coming fighters. Fighters that may be in the position that these two men find themselves in the future, fighting for a very serious title. Jordan Tai could be one of those guys. Michael Evans and James Ferguson did their careers as a crowd. And what more could you say about Nick Misich? The Choppa starting to dominate the fifth round, starting to control the centre, which is something that he couldn't do in the earlier rounds. Choppa pressing forward. Gerbrand on the defensive, hoping for a chance to get away with the big bomb. Choppa, as always, the hands up. The complete fighter. He hasn't got a, he's got a hard opponent to fight tonight, though. Gerbrand TAKENS raised the Choppa's hand. He knows which way the result's going to go. Fantastic. Well, had a shot. Something that we see a lot of in Hong Kong, Rebel.
Yeah, a lot of push-ups.
Well, good fight to end the night, and the Choppa deservedly will come away with the title. Good to see a fighter from the Netherlands here.
At the bout at 50 points to 47 points in favor of the winner. And you,
well, it's been a good night for New Zealand with a win over one of the good ties and a win over one of the best that Holland can throw at us. And it augurs well for the future. I just hope we can get fighters like Gerbrand TAKENS back here again, and I hope he'll go home and tell them that he was well treated and the fighting is of a high standard, and we may see more fighters from that part of the world over here. It can only improve our young guys and give them encouragement to go on to big and better things. And at the moment, what a great way to end the year for Shane Chopper Chapman. 9 belts, only one loss throughout the year, a very, very close decision. And I think we've got to thank Philip Lamb for another fantastic night.
Yeah, he certainly puts on a good show. It's a little bit sad that the Mandalay's got to not exist anymore, so we'll have to find a new stomping ground, but we've had some great fights in this stadium and some great memories. I remember when we first saw Chopper came out and fight 5 years ago as a novice, and over the 5 years he's come a very long way. Now he's a well-deserved world champion.
Certainly is.
Well, yeah, what more can you say? The guy's a new world champion, just another one to add to the list.
Well, that brings down the close on another fantastic night. We'll be at the power station in a fortnight's time, and we hope you can see those fights on Combat Video. In the meantime, thanks Robin for all her work. Thanks Mark the Shark and John the Rebel Conway. And until we see you again, this is Tony Robb saying, keep kicking.